Okay, so I wanted to go over the FRQ task verbs. So this is exactly what you want to aim for in your responses to earn those points on your FRQs. So this is the verb to look for, and you're like, okay, if I need to do X, then let me do that. Okay, so let me explain. Calculate. If you are asked to calculate something, you always need to show your work, include your units, and make it as clear as possible. You will be handwriting these. So if you mess up, that's fine. Just scratch it out, erase it completely, and start over, or make a note, or maybe you draw a box around the part that you want them to focus on in your response. Describe. Describe is just that. You're providing the relevant characteristics of a specified topic. Sounds easy. To me, describe is probably the most difficult task verb to truly nail down, because even though you're providing details, you need to be detailed. Okay. So as you read your response, when you are describing something, make sure that you play into the nitty gritty of the concept that's being asked, right? That you're giving information about, or provide an example to help support that description. Say, for example, if you are asked to describe um, and describe the effects of pollution in the Mississippi River, you can't just say it may cause eutrophication. Okay, that is not a specific enough description. You need to go into detail, explain what would actually cause that eutrophication from the pollution, right? Make sure you tie it together. Explain, I'm going to be honest. Describe, I explain. So this is where you need to really be, again, specific. But I have seen on many, many rubrics and talked to many, many graders where explain and describe is very much the same thing. So if it says explain how something works or why something is the way it is, you do need to go into detail. And again, if you can provide an example to help support that, your position, or giving an example of a positive feedback loop, something like that, then that's going to better support your answer. Now, on the flip side, identify is easy. Identify is just that. It is, bam, I'm identifying this. I swear this is way too easy, and I feel like I should be writing more. No, you shouldn't. If it's identify, you're good. Okay. Identify is the one where everybody screws up, but it's the easiest for a reason, because all you're doing is saying, like, identify one greenhouse gas. Carbon dioxide is one greenhouse gas. That's it. That's all you've done. That's all you were asked to do. You're good. Now, justify sometimes will follow that. Justify is where you need to provide that evidence again. And this kind of goes back with the whole explain, all right, or the describe. You are supporting as much detailed information as you can relating to that and tying that concept together. So, whatever evidence you can provide, examples, etc., that's where this comes in. If you are making a claim, then what you are doing is you are basically making an assertion that is based on evidence or knowledge. And this is, you could say, per the Montreal, Act, right? You can play off of that. You can say, according to the Paris Climate Agreement, and make your statement based on a very well published fact, law, treaty. It could be a scientific theory that is very well supported that you could base your claim off of. If there was an example of a researcher that we discussed that did something phenomenal and for the world of environmental science, then you could use that person's name as a reference as well. Those are all totally okay. And then when you propose a solution, that's it. So if you are asked, carbon dioxide is one of the major greenhouse gases, propose a solution for the everyday American to try to mitigate this, you could say there's 100 different solutions you could come up with. I mean, just go with the two that are top off of your head, or if it asks for one, just give one. If it asks for two, give two. Say, oh, well, one way that I know that I could personally mitigate carbon dioxide emissions is to drive less, walk more. This would, decrease the amount of carbon dioxide I am personally putting into the atmosphere. And then therefore, that is one thing I can personally do to help this cause. All right, bam, done. So see how short and concise I was in that statement? That's where we're going with this. You want to be short, concise, but thorough. And that's sometimes where it's easy to get into what I call those fluff words, maybe like, all the adjectives and adverbs, and you want to make it pretty sounding. But that we want just content. In science, we base everything off of content. So don't go around and around in circles and not get to the point. Try to go from the outside to the center as quickly as you can. Okay? All right.